and welcome back once again to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. Yeah, it seems a little bit strange doing a normal LP session after a week-long stream-a-thon. Here we are once again for some more Motorsport Manager because I just couldn't wait any longer. I had to see how we fare this season with our car, which is the best car we have ever built. And we're going to find out shortly. But before we do, we're going to look at the top 5 teams and see if there's any changes and see what's going on. See if we can predict what's going to happen in the championship. And we're going to also look at the plan for Phoenix Knights this season in terms of their development and how we propose to improve for next season. And that's pretty much going to be it. And then we'll dive into the race and see what happens. So first of all then, let's have a look at the teams. Now how do we do that? It's been some time. Okay, so we're going to go by car order. Best car on the grid currently is actually the Steinman. Although their drivers are pretty poor, which hinders them quite significantly. As is their headquarters. Their headquarters is actually pretty poor as well, so that's interesting. Anyhow, so they've got Navarro driving for them. He's a new addition, as is Stephenson. Engelhardt has been demoted to reserve driver. 4-star driver in this championship, in a very good car, should be competitive, and Stephenson has actually got potential. Albeit, he looks like an absolute muppet with that hair and that moustache combination. So that's Steinman. In terms of where we predict them to come, I think they've improved their driver. I can't remember what levels their previous drivers were in terms of their star ability. But I've just got a feeling that this is seeing as I had Engelhardt actually, this has got to be an improvement. So they've got a slightly improved driver lineup. They've still got the best car, so I reckon they're going to be tough nuts to crack. But I do think they're going to finish behind the Scuderia Rossinis just because of the fact that they have Lipponen driving for them. Their car is not much worse off than the Steinman. It's very close between the two, but they have the best driver lineup with Balcazar, who's actually eking into the 5-star bracket and still got potential in hand. Lipponen, of course, we've seen last season how dominant he can be. This, for me, is the team to beat. Car combined with driver equals tough nuts to crack. Alright, so that's the top 2. And I'm pleased to say that brings us into the mix at number 3. Phoenix Knights, for the first time, could be argued to have a car that will be consistently challenging for podium places. You never know, give a bit of rain, we may even, with our new Rainmaster Surikov and our increased forecasting ability, we may actually be challenging for some race wins. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself, of course, but you know the drivers, it's Cruz, it's Surikov. They're still in the prime of their racing careers, and I've got a feeling they're going to bring a surprise or two on the top 2 teams. Panther somehow have still clung on to the 4th best car on the grid. As you can see, they have replaced the ailing and aging Harry Chapman with Parisi and the rather useless, who was partnering him? Sylvander for Partanen. Now they've got 2 4-star drivers, which means their driver lineup has improved. So I reckon that these guys will once again be giving Kitano a bit more of a run for their money. Because last season their driver lineup let them down, which is why they were struggling so badly. Now with a better driver lineup, still got the 4th best car on paper, they may just eke back ahead of Kitano. We'll see. Will they get ahead of us? It's debatable, but I don't think so. If you look at the drop in the graph compared to them with us, our car is significantly better. So we should be okay. And that takes us to the team that is predicted to come 5th, and that was our rivals of last season. It's Catano. Their car is down here in relation to the rest of us, and therefore I'll be shocked as hell if they cause us any concern this season. Rick de Graaf still there, the qualifying expert. Looks like they've replaced the Wolf with Makarova. A new name on the team sheet. 2 4-star drivers, both with potential to be 5-star. Vidal as reserve. Not bad. Not bad at all. Best headquarters on the grid. Might not be enough. So that is the top 5 teams. It's going to be an exciting season for us. So what about our car then? You can see how good our car is compared to the others. We're very, very, very close in performance to Steinman and Scuderia Rossini. What do we need to do to get ourselves on the top of the pile, to get our car to be the best? Well, I'm thinking it's not rocket science, that it's our engine that is letting us down. We have the best parts in every other category, so it must be our engine that is letting us down. So this season we are focusing purely and utterly on engine design, getting that engine as good as it can possibly be. Hopefully we can use some of those engines this season, if not, definitely for next season. In terms of the gearbox, our gearbox is really strong, and we shall also develop that towards the back end of the season to make it even stronger, because these 2 parts are the biggies. These 2 parts, the engine and the gearbox, have the biggest impact on overall lap time. So we're going to focus on these 2 this season. I expect we may not focus on the rest unless it's absolutely necessary. But the big 2 are going to be our prime focus. And to help us with that, to help us get that engine boosted up even more, we splashed some cash. I should have done this in the pre-season. I slipped up. But we are going for the top level of the test track. We are improving our test track so that we can design legendary engine parts. The best engine parts you can possibly get. And that will enable us to really boost those performance levels. This is not going to be ready for 26 weeks, which is going to be halfway through the season, if not 3/4 of the way through the season. If we'd have started this off in the pre-season, it would almost have been done now. So a little bit slow off the mark, but we should still get some use out of it, fingers crossed. So this will hopefully help us bridge that gap in performance with the engine. One final thing, I'm keeping the same drivers. They've been with us through thick and thin. I'm keeping the same staff. They've been through thick and thin with us, and I want to bring them into the glory days as loyal servants rather than just replacing them. But it's nice being in the top 3, because everybody that I looked at off camera in scouting, every driver, every mechanic, every designer that was really, really, really good and would be an improvement on the staff we have, all of them were interested in coming, rather strangely. Coming to one of the top 3 teams. Everybody was interested. So it means that if we really wanted to, we could have the pick of the cream of the crop. But no, we're going to stay loyal to the staff we've got. Oh, so in terms of improving the parts, we aren't going to focus on performance. Oh, well, we are going to focus on performance, actually, if you don't mind. Possibly on the parts that we're not going to be improving this season, which will be the wings, the suspension. Let's put that like that. So we're working on the reliability of the crucial parts for the next race, which is engine, front wing and gearbox. The engine is getting done, the gearbox is getting done. Of course, the front wing is spec and it's also already got 80% reliability. So we're just working on the reliability of the engine and the gearbox at this moment in time. Okay, now they're all roughly the same. We'll work on all of them for the last 5 days and see where that puts us. Alright, so we've got some messages here from Lisandro Cruz, and he's loving life. Gotta say, we must have one of the best cars in the World Motorsport Championship when it comes to everything, mate. Apart from top speed, but forget about that little minor, crucial detail. That's not bad. 86%, 85% across the board, which is workable. Alright, we're here now then. There's no more surmising, predicting, estimating. There's just doing. We're going to change our sponsor objective now to 6th or above. It's definitely a possibility. Tyre wear of our car should not be an issue, because we have a very good chassis and some good drivers with smoothness, so we're anticipating easily to be able to use the soft tyres across the board. See you for the first qualifying of the season. So practice, the first practice session of the season is done and dusted, and I've got to say, some good times from Makarova in the Catano and Parisi in the Panther. It's making me a little bit nervous about the qualifying session. Making me a little bit nervous. Right, we didn't manage to get qualifying trim to 15%. Didn't have enough time in the session to do so. But nothing we can do about that now. Setups are done. Both drivers quite close in time. We've already started weight stripping in the first race. It's going to be a dry session, so it's going to be simulation time. Keep your fingers crossed, guys. Here we go. Qualifying has never been our strong suit. But come on, 5th and 6th should be doable here. 5th and 7th. Cruz letting us down here. We'll take it though. I mean, we did say 5th and 6th. It's not far off it, is it? And there we go. Prediction correct. Prediction correct. Which actually fills me with a sense of optimism, because A, we're not massively behind the leaders, only 3 tenths and 4 tenths, and because we always seem to have a stronger race than qualifying. So this actually is quite optimistic. Phoenix Nights has a beautiful ring to it. Indeed it does. Oh, it's nice to be mixing it up with the big boys. Oh! Let's see what happens in the race. Very easy peasy. It's soft tyres and race trim. It's soft tyres and race trim. In terms of the strategies, we don't have to worry about tyre wear here, so it's all about just getting to the end on a nice, safe and secure strategy. It's two 6s and a 7. No, it's not. It's 2 6s and a 5. 2 6s and a 5. So who's ahead on the grid? Cruz is behind. So these tyres could easily last. We'll have you do the 6. That's fine. For Sirikov, we'll have him do the 5 first. So Sirikov is doing 5-6-6 and Cruz is doing 6-6-5. So that's the setup's done, tyres done, fuel is done, time for driver strategy, and I actually find that you get a better start off the line if you use push rather than overtake. I think maybe if you're attacking off the line, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a wheel spin issue or something. I don't know. Possibly. We'll try it. We'll try it. Let's dive in. Here is the first grid of the season. And is it a sign of things to come? Lipponen on pole position. No real shock there. Johnny Navarro, however, only very slightly behind. 8 thousandths of a second. Balcazar in third with Stephenson in fourth. He needs to change his look. My God, has he been to the school of Valdez for that style? Here we are, Phoenix Knights with their improved package. 5th and 6th. 7th and 8th is the Panthers. I did say that with their improved drivers they will probably move ahead of Kitano once again. That appears to be the case so far. Of course, it is the first race of the season. De Graaf and Makarova bringing up 9th and 10th. Whenever I see her name, the Macarena is just constantly running through my head. And now it's going to be in yours. Let's go. Oh, we're going to enjoy this. Come on, we're off the grid now. Here we are. 5th and 6th on the grid. His car looks black. The lights are on. And the season is underway, and Cruz has got off to a flying start and a bad one for Sirikov, and somebody's gone off wide. It's Fox. Sirikov is not off to a flyer by any stretch of the imagination, and that's not good news at all. Let's have a look at the track temperature, 22 degrees, it's okay. Everybody's pushing quite hard. I think we're going to now push ourselves for the second half of this lap. As Surikov gets engulfed by other cars, he's just falling through the pack here, not having a good time at all, as Cruz is up into 3rd position in this early portion of the race. Will he stay there? It's going to be tough, but he'll certainly try his best. Surikov is now making his way back through the field, is up into 8th position. That's exactly what we want to see. Just keep working, keep pushing, keep going. Alright, so just going to take a little check on the old situation. We can't afford to push too hard for too long because some of our other parts, of course, are lacking. They're in the 60s, so we can't go too mad in terms of the pushing. But we'll push for a little bit longer. One more lap on the tyres pushing, and then we'll turn that down. Or maybe half a lap. Keep continuing to get those tyre temperatures up to speed. Lipponen is pulling away. Stephenson's doing a good job, and Navarro is on our heels. I'm thinking that we can possibly turn these down now. Don't want the temperatures just to get too hot. Oh, and Cruz is getting passed by the Steinman. Alright, that's fine. And Surikov is moved his way up to 6th position. He's doing a good job scything through the field. We'll give him that much. After his end, he's up into... Oh, yep, he's still battling. He's there in 6th. Only one more car, and he's back right behind his teammate. And look at that, Balcazar! Balcazar has crashed for Scuderia Rossini. She is out of the race. Bad news indeed for Scuderia Rossini fans, of which there's a few out there, I suppose. Right, we're going to turn the temperatures down now. In fact, we're going to turn the engine modes down as well. Just give our cars a little bit of a breather. We'll turn them up towards the back end of the race if we have the condition to do so. But we don't want to go too fast too soon, because as you can see, we've got a nice comfortable gap to Makarova. The only car we really need to beat is Partonen. Just want to ensure that we beat him. Other than that, it's going to be difficult for us to catch. Well, Lipponen's gone. He's gone into the sunset. He's definitely off the table. Navarro maybe, as Partonen just getting a little bit too close to Cruz for my liking. In fact, Cruz is falling into the clutches of his teammate even, who had a hellacious start. So Sirikov is obviously the quicker of our two drivers so far. Navarro is in conserve mode currently, which means we're gaining on him slightly. It's tempting to turn up the engine modes and stuff, but we do have to be concerned about the car conditioning, so we'll just lay off for now. Perhaps at the back end. Oh, Zarikov's off! No, good grief, come on. Picking up where he left off last season, and that's driving into a barrier. Great start. Absolutely cracking start. Sorry guys, it's going to take more than sorry. We put this great car together for you, you've been with us for so long, and you finally get a car where you can be competitive, and you just ditch it into the bloody barrier. Right, we're going to turn the engine modes up on Cruz. Give him a lap and a half before his stop of some ability to push. Quite impressed with Partonen here. He's definitely keeping pace, doing a good job. His teammate is not doing so well. Parisi down in 9th. De Graaf down in 12th. I think De Graaf must be suffering with some kind of an issue, because he's usually I think he was a 5-star driver, but when we did meet the team he was only 4-star, so I'm thinking he's got some kind of an issue, some kind of a debuff stat, debuff trait, which is probably temporary. Because that's not indicative of his performances, is it? In fact, after this race, I'm going to check. It just doesn't quite seem right. Anyway, Cruz is coming in for a fresh set of boots. He was doing a 6.65, so there we go. Top up the fuel. No need for risky pit stops at this point. And we're in the pits. And we're out of the pits. Good start. We'll just go on high for a lap, for our out lap, get the temperatures into the tyres and potentially just put some distance between us and other cars that are pitting. And then we're going to turn it down for the middle stint and just use the pace of the car to hopefully maintain a decent position. A podium is going to be a tough call here. I think both of the Scuderia Rossinis are going to be ahead of us, and of course Lipponen is only 0.8 seconds ahead of Stephenson. Actually, Stephenson is making a fight of this, which is good, which is very good indeed, and give him his dues. Navarro pushing hard. We'll just turn down now. This is more for conservation than anything else. Navarro will have to turn down his modes a little bit later into the stint, and that's when we will turn ours up. We'll see when he goes into conserve, and then we'll counteract it. But we've built a gap to Partonen at the moment. Only 2.5 seconds, and that gap is slightly increasing. Cavalcanti's crashed, and the safety car is out. Wow! All of a sudden we've gone from like 4 seasons of no safety cars, of very minimal crashes. Last race of last season, both our cars crashed, safety car came out. First race of this season, one of our cars crashed, and a safety car's come out again for a separate incident, of course. What's going on? This is going to bunch the field up, and we all have to pit again. Our fuel tank can only hold 7 laps of fuel, which means that we can only get to lap 50, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we can't pit, there's no point of pitting. It's too early in the stint. Nobody else appears to be pitting. Ooh, Lipponen and Stephenson are pitting. Actually, no, because we've already pitted once, right? So they're pitting now, which means they're going to have to pit again before the end of the race, which makes no sense, because then they're going to be pitting 3 times. That makes no sense at all. I suppose it's a free set of tyres for them, really, because even though they do have to pit again, they have come out. Well, he hasn't, but Lipponen's come out ahead of us anyway, so it makes no difference to him. We're all beginning to bunch up now behind the safety car. One more lap. And then we're going to be off and racing. And we're out of there. In fact, let's go high and absolutely hammer it. We're currently in 3rd, and we're going to absolutely blast off if we can. So Lipponen's in 1st, Navarro's in 2nd, we've got Cruz in 3rd. Hang on to your hats, that could change in a second. Partonen is in 4th, Makarova is in 5th, and Stephenson is in 6th. Hopefully... Oh, and look at that! The pressure has got to Stephenson. He's gone wide. This is a race full of incident and calamity. First race of the season, and cars are all over the shop. Whoever wins this race is going to be the car that can make it round in one piece. Right, 6 laps to go. 2 more laps for Cruz on this set of tyres, and he should be in for his final stop. Everybody's still pushing relatively hard, so he can't really afford to turn down. The Steinmans are working their way through the field after their blunders. And look at that! Oh, he's off! He's off! He's off! Stephenson has crashed. Is that the same corner? Oh my god, I'm holding my hand to my head. What is happening in this race? It's absolute carnage. Virtual safety car is now out. If we could have just pitted under the virtual safety car, we'd have been okay, but I think we are just outside that window. Yeah, we're back to full speed now. Let's turn the car engines and stuff back up. Right, this is pretty much a splash and dash at this point. Only 4 laps after this one. Well, now that a Scuderia Rossini and a Steinman have both crashed out of the race, a podium is definitely up for grabs. All we need now is Lipponen to spin off and we could get a race victory. But that's probably asking a little bit too much. Car's looking okay. I think we can make it without having to conserve or hold back. We have to go down to normal mode, but we should be alright. Surikov, Surikov, Surikov. What could have been if you just kept your car in one piece? And we're in the pits. So splash and dash, the tyres go on, the fuel goes in, and we're off. And we're out of there. Plenty of life in the tyres. Fuel in the tank to go and push hard. This is all about making it to the end. The car conditions looking not too bad. I think we can keep it on push pretty much for most of this final stint. Lipponen has to pit again, but he's too far up the road really for us to be worried about. All we need to worry about is keeping Navarro behind us if we can. And it's going to be close. 3 laps to go. All these cars have to pit again. I'm saying that almost with a confidence, but I'm not quite so sure. I think they will do. They've all pitted under that safety car, I think. Up into 4th. Flores has to pit. De Graaf has to pit. Even Lipponen has to pit. He came in under the safety car and didn't have enough fuel. His tank isn't big enough to fuel to the end. Cruz doing a sterling job of keeping Navarro behind him in the Steinman. This is good pace being shown by Alessandro Cruz. Come on, keep going. Car conditions, I'm still happy with those conditions. Here you go, there's Lipponen in the pits. Let's push. No chance, come on, don't tease me. Don't tease me, game, don't tease me. The game is teasing me. We're in first position here. There's 2 laps to go. We're 1.6 seconds. I'm giving him full power here. The car's not going to thank me, but do you know what? We're giving him full power. It was a mistake for Lipponen to pit under the safety car. He's come out in 8th position. Okay, turn it down. We've built up a nice 2.6 second gap to Navarro. Navarro is actually conserving his tyres here. We're looking good. Just no mistakes, Cruz. Just no mistakes. Final lap. He's pulling away. Let's turn it down then. Let's turn it down. We can afford to turn it down here and bring this car home in one piece. 2.5. This will be our first race victory, as far as I can remember, in the World Motorsport Championship. We won't focus on what could have been if Sirikov kept it on the road. It could have been a double podium, but we'll forget about that. This is going to be, fingers crossed, no incidents now, our first victory in the top tier of motorsport. Coming around now, they're sweeping hairpin as he approaches the last couple of bends here. Lisandro Cruz has picked up the scraps as everyone around him was crashing and burning. He kept his cool and he's got the victory. Yes, well done. Wow, did not expect that when I saw Lisandro Cruz pulling away into the sunset at the start of the race. Holy mackerel. I'm bloody gobsmacked. Dumbstruck. Oh. Look at that. Two Colombians. I think it's Colombia. Two Colombians. I'm sure Navarro's drove in the Asia Pacific Cup when we were there. I'm sure he drove down there for a car that was a purple coloured car. Can't remember the name of the team. But anyway, read 'em and weep. Read 'em and weep if you're a fan of Scuderia Rossini. Terrible race for their drivers. I mean, two Rizzato Corsas finishing fourth and fifth should tell you everything you need to know about this race. It was a race of blunders. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Champagne tastes good when you're on the top step. It sure does. But more importantly, look at this. We're top of the tree. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we're currently top of the tree. Phoenix Knights, names in lights. Oh, enjoy it while it lasts, because it might end in the next race. Okay. Only lost 1.8 million. I say only lost, like it's pocket change, but we only lost 1.8 million. We were losing more than that last season, so we're cutting the costs. We're cutting the costs. We're running cheaper and more efficiently than we were last season, but yet we're performing better. Potter is working miracles. Alrighty ho, we're going to end the session there. We'll do the race stuff, pre-race stuff before the Japanese GP at Yokohama. We'll do all that off camera. Join me for the next session, which won't be a highlights package because, hey, we're mixing it up with the big boys. We've been waiting for this for some time, so I'm going to share it all with you. We're going to have, for the time being at least, we're going to be back to normal, doing pretty much every race as normal. Until next time, let me know in the comment section. It's a bit early, but let me know your predictions. Where are we going to finish in this Constructors' Championship? Seeing what you've seen so far, let me know. Where do you think we're going to finish? First, second, third? Lower than third is unlikely, but I'm just intrigued to see what you think. Until next time, see you soon.